Pakistan was closing in on technology services exports worth $3 billion this year. The IT minister even claimed we'd surpass it, and there was little reason to doubt him. But then, the growth began to taper off. After hitting a peak of $212.3 million in March, Pakistan's IT service exports began falling. Here, the story takes a political color, as supporters of PTI blame the slowdown on the change in government and the resulting political uncertainty. On the other hand, sympathizers of the ruling party see it as a bug instead of a feature. Luckily, that's where the data can give us some context, or maybe confuse us even more. For example, the average year-on-year growth per month between April and October after the PTI was removed from the government has been just 9.56%. In the same period of 2021, the corresponding figure was 48.83%. Additionally, the outgoing September was the first time since May 2020 when IT exports fell year-on-year. Going all the way back to July 2006, there have been only 21 months out of 196 when this has happened. So it does lend some credence to the claims of the first camp. However, are we really saying that Pakistani tech companies, which are for-profit entities, suddenly stopped selling less just because there was a change in government? If you look at the month-wise year-on-year exchange in telecom exports, it actually peaked in April 2021, a whole year before the vote of no confidence. Although there was still healthy growth afterwards, but it was clearly on a downward trajectory. And by this January, it had reached 15.71%. Yet, it still doesn't justify how April onwards there have been 4 months out of 7 where the year-on-year change in IT proceeds was less than 10%. That last happened between October 2016 and February 2017, again during the government of PMLN. Muttahir Khan, in his piece for Dawn's Business and Finance Weekly, writes that given the ruling party's historical anti-export approach and the currency market volatility, it does make sense. It's no wonder that tech companies are cautious and are perhaps even hesitant in bringing the money back home. Now, one could argue that the growth had to subside at one point, especially since the global economy has changed gears. After all, it was COVID-19 that gave a major boost to technology projects. That high is now over, as the world is heading towards a recession on the back of record high inflation as well as market corrections. But that reasoning too has a couple of problems. Firstly, Pakistan never played in the big league to feel too much impact. Therefore, any slowdown shouldn't bother us, as corporates around the world will continue to outsource smaller projects, which is what we do anyways. Secondly, Pakistan is still at a pretty low base of $2.6 billion, where double-digit growth is well within reach. What's surprising is that major Pakistani players in IT services are still hiring, even if not as aggressively as last year. Many are actually expanding their sales offices abroad. That would suggest any slowdown in the export proceeds shouldn't be because of a lack of business, but perhaps as a result of political uncertainty. If that's the case, the government should really come out of its slumber and instill confidence in the market instead of continuing the same old shenanigans which brought us to an economic crisis in 2018.